In this session, we'll learn about the fifth limb of Ashtanga Yoga, which is Pratyahara, and how significant it is in palliative care. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, as we know by now, there are 8 limbs of yoga. The fifth limb is Pratyahara, which we are going to discuss in this session. Pratyahara classically translates to the withdrawal of the senses. This limb is often considered the most neglected and misunderstood, but it is still a fundamental aspect of yoga. Pratyahara is one of the important limbs of Patanjali's Raj Yoga, which provides therapeutic and psychic benefits to a practitioner, which is the need of the hour. It literally means withdrawal of the senses. Pratyahara teaches us to approach stillness in the mind. To do this, one must shift the act of sensation from an external orientation to an internal one. Turning our attention inward and ditching from simulations is sense of withdrawal. Turning our attention inwards and ditching from stimulations is sense withdrawal. The ultimate goal is to have command over the senses. This means that you are no longer attached to external gratification. You are not distracted by external stimulation and you can focus the mind inwards. As long as we believe that we need external sensory stimulus, the longer we are slaves to it. But we do not have to be slaves to our senses or desires and the external world. This does not mean that shutting out or negating the world is the path of Pratyahara. It is also not that we shouldn't enjoy the external world and sensory pleasure. Instead, Pratyahara relies on this belief that the more we believe we need sensory stimulation, the more enslaved we are to them. Being a slave to the external world makes it more difficult to discover the inner world. But practicing Pratyahara allows us to explore consciousness and freedom inside of ourselves. By regularly practicing Pratyahara, you can cultivate a more intimate relationship with your senses. Your sensory experiences will become a path toward concentration and mental clarity. It will lead you towards buddhi and individuation. So, how is Pratyahara useful in palliative care? Pratyahara offers valuable benefits in palliative care by enhancing focus, reducing stress, improving emotional well-being, and facilitating deeper meditations. Its practice can complement other palliative care methods, contributing to a more comprehensive approach to managing serious illness. This practice of Pratyahara involves some key aspects. At first, it is the withdrawal of the senses from external stimuli, such as sights, sounds, sensations, and directing their sensory experiences inwardly. Then, after turning the sensory experiences inward, we turn the mind inward to concentrate into its inner states and consciousness. Then the practitioner prepares for meditation and finally practicing mental control over thoughts, which tends to go outwards repeatedly. So these are the key aspects that are involved in the practice of Pratyahara. There are 4 types of Pratyahara which one can practice. So at first it is Indriya Pratyahara. So as the name suggests, Indriya, it means focusing on the withdrawal from the external stimuli one experiences via the 5 senses, which are hearing, taste, smell, sense, sight and touch. To withdraw from the senses, concentrate on your natural breathing pattern. Then you can experience Indriya Pratyahara. The next is Prana Pratyahara. When practicing Pratyahara, it's essential to control your prana, which is the universal energy flowing throughout the body, so that you can avoid focusing too much of that energy on your senses. So the prana can be controlled by practicing deep awareness on the breath. The next type of pratyahara is karma pratyahara. This is the control of action. Karma pratyahara is about surrendering all actions or thoughts of personal reward in favor of acting in service to humanity or the divine. You can practice this through karma yoga, which teaches that desire is limitless and happiness is attainable when it is not attached to the results of your actions. The last type of pratyahara is mano pratyahara. When you practice mano pratyahara, you not only withdraw from external stimuli, but also actively control reaction to it and redirection the attention inwards. With respect to palliative care, pratyahara can be used as a valuable support as it helps reducing stress and induce a deep state of relaxation, which is beneficial for overall comfort and improving the quality of the subject. It also helps providing emotional resilience and mental clarity. Pratyahara helps management of pain by shifting the focus and providing a mental break from chronic pain. It also helps improves quality of the sleep and induces more restful periods of relaxation, thereby providing inner peace and tranquility and encourage acceptance by reducing inner conflict and fear. The practice of withdrawing the senses and focusing the awareness inward, both general and palliative well-being, is ultimately enhanced. For individuals in general, it provides a pathway to a more harmonious and centered life, alleviating the stress and promoting mindfulness. In the context of palliative care, pratyahara offers valuable support by managing anxiety, improving comfort, and enabling a sense of inner peace, which can be profoundly beneficial for those facing serious illnesses. Integrating pratyahara into daily practice can lead to a more serene and fulfilling existence, whether navigating everyday challenges or coping with the complexities of terminal illness. Now, let's discuss briefly how one can practice pratyahara to incorporate into day-to-day life. The first technique is of antar mauna, which means inner silence. The Sanskrit word antar means inner and mauna means silence. In this practice of pratyahara, the coming and going of the thoughts is observed in the passive manner of a witness. This process of just observing brings many forgotten issues or suppressed issues to the surface, that is, to the level of consciousness recognition. These can be dealt with and settled in a manner appropriate for that individual. A mental catharsis takes place and then the mind becomes comparatively quiet and at peace with itself. Thoughts also arise during any dharana practice or work demanding concentration. The process of antar mauna should simultaneously continue. The main goal of practicing antar mauna or inner silence is to achieve a state of mental silence and focus, which allows for deeper self-reflection and heightened awareness of one's true self. It is a way to move beyond the constant chatter of the mind and connect with a more profound inner stillness. It is in this inner silence that true healing begins, percolating the cellular level. Antar mauna aids in accepting life's experiences, both positive and negative, fosters forgiveness towards others, and encourages gratitude for what we have. This practice ultimately enhances the overall quality of life. For how long this practice can be done? So, a practitioner can begin antar mauna or inner silence with shorter periods, such as 5 to 10 minutes initially, and then gradually extend the duration as you become more comfortable with the practice. It can be practiced in any meditative posture such as Padmasana, Siddhasana, Vajrasana or Sukhasana. Whichever posture the practitioner is comfortable with, he or she can assume that meditative posture. Or if these are not possible, in Shavasana or lying down or even while seated and in a relaxed, comfortable chair can also be practiced. If one wishes to include Antarmona in daily sadhana program, the best time to practice is either late at night, just before the sleep, or early in the morning, as at these times there will be least noise and fewer disturbances. However, practitioners need to take care of the fact that those who are dealing with depression or other mental problems or an inability to control the thought process consciously should not practice Antarmona. It should also not be practiced when the mind is in a pessimistic mood. Another technique through which one can practice Pratyahara is a Japa Jap, which is the practice of natural mantra repetition. Japa means repetition of mantra and ajapa means spontaneous or effortless repetition. The practice of ajapa jap involves rotation of the consciousness in a psychic passage using a mantra and breath, initially consciously. This introverts the mind fairly quickly. It is a combination of pranayam and dharana practice. The practice of ajapa jap harmonizes the mind and tunes the body to the natural flow of breath and the intrinsic sound of vibration of the mantra. The benefits are wide-ranging, from calming and de-stressing effects to the highest goal of self-realization. The subject can choose a simple mantra like Om, Soham, Gayatri mantra, even Mahamrityunjay mantra, whichever resonates to him or her, and synchronize it with breath. Then you can practice a japa jap this way. Now, there is another technique to practice Pratyahara, which is the art of visualization, which is the practice of visualization. This is a very strong technique to adopt. So, visualization is the process of creating and focusing on mental images or scenarios to achieve specific goals. It involves using the power of the mind to imagine desired outcomes vividly and with intention. Whenever you want to create a destiny, you can create it in your mind first and then it can happen automatically. So, regular practice of visualization helps to strengthen the mental images and intentions. For practicing visualization, and you should be able to genuinely visualize those, not just going through it, but genuinely visualizing the scenario and the outcome that you wish to have. So, visualize that with strong images, mental images and intentions. So, this is possible with regular practice of meditation. And consistent practice also helps to align your subconscious mind with your goals and aspiration, which will ultimately lead to contentment and happiness and joyness in your life. Now, we will explore one of the most discussed and essential aspects of yoga, that is meditation, which is another form of pratyahara. Although there are many techniques for practicing pratyahara, we are here taking another technique which is known as meditation. As we all know, meditation has been practiced for thousands of years. Meditation originally was meant to help deepen understanding of the sacred and mystical forces of life. Meditation is an umbrella term for the many ways to a relaxed state of being. There are many types of meditations and relaxation techniques that have meditation components. All share the same goal of achieving inner peace. Meditation is not a replacement for traditional medical treatment, but it may be a useful addition to your other treatment. Meditation can be a valuable component in palliative care, which focuses on providing relief from the symptoms and stress associated with serious illnesses. Integrating meditation into palliative care can offer several benefits. Incorporating meditation into Palliative care can be tailored to each individual's needs and experiences. It can be done through individual sessions, group classes, or guided practices led by the trained professionals. There are many types of meditations like guided meditation, mantra meditation, mindful meditation, and transcendental meditation, along with other types of meditation, allow the body to settle into a state of profound rest and relaxation, and the mind to achieve a state of inner peace without needing to use concentration or effort. Thank you.